Hello there, this is your guy Schroeds bringing you another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. Today we'll be introducing my 2020 free-to-play farming guide. So this guide is going to be focused about min-maxing for free-to-play players. Ever since this hyperdrive bundle came out, it's very difficult for free-to-play players to really be able to get a good grasp of Arena and do well early. We're starting out kind of far behind. Um, you know, we have $100 extra. Hey, that's something. But in the game, yeah, we're gonna be pretty far behind anybody that purchased this. There's gonna be a number of people that purchase this in every shard. There's just nothing you can do about it. But hey, you know what? They're paying to support the game so that you can play for free. So in the end, we both win. But we do want to try to catch up to these people as fast as possible, and that's what this guide is about. So we're going to try to minimize roster bloat. We're not going to activate characters that we don't need. We're only going to farm the characters that we do need. The best way to catch up to these players is ultimately going to be getting Sith Empire right now. Darth Malik, Darth Revan, and company. Once we get them and get them geared up and modded, then we actually have a chance to squeak into the top 20 of Arena, maybe even top 10. Well, it just depends on how good you are and how focused you are, and this guide will help you get there as quick as possible. So there's several phases to this game that I've come to understand. The first phase of the game, very early in the game, while you're leveling, is going to be about shard farming, getting different characters, leveling them up, getting yourself leveled up to level 85. That takes a little bit of time. The next phase is about gearing. You got to gear up those characters to at least high enough gears so that you can accomplish what you want to with them. For some of those characters, that'll be gear 8, gear 9, just to unlock legendaries. For other characters, it'll be arena team. You'll want to get them much higher. Some characters you'll have to get to gear 12 or 13 to unlock certain legendaries. And the last phase of the game is really all about modding. This is how you really maximize your characters. Good mod strategy is essential to doing well in the end game in Grand Arena. So we're not getting to that today. This is more about the shard farming and leveling and how we want to get the characters in place so that we can get the gear on them and then get the mods on them, and then we can really go to town and enjoy the game and do well at it. So you'll notice with my mod guide, I am going to start with Phoenix. I know there's some other YouTubers out there that may want to go separatist. That's fine. That's their prerogative. Try something new. That's cool. I don't think it's the best strategy for a free-to-play player right now, and I'll tell you why. Phoenix is very easy to unlock. You see this account's only about 3.5 days old. Actually, not even 3.5 days old. But I've already got all the Phoenix team unlocked. They're all right here. Most of them are at least 3-star. Zeb will actually be my first 2 7-stars. He was pretty quick because you get him in the Galactic War store. Ezra's already at 4 stars, working on Hera, getting her to 4. So they're very easy to get. It'll give you a great arena team very early on in the game. When I jumped into my squad arena here, I was ranked about 1100, which is actually pretty good for just unlocking it. You'll see I'm already at rank 51. That's not very far into the game. Now, unfortunately, there's a lot of people here with hyperdrive bundles, so it's inevitable that I'll slip down. My goal is hopefully to stay in the top 100. That'll give us some decent prizes every day. The 100 crystals is really what it's all about. If I can somehow sneak into the top 50, get that 150 crystals, that'll be excellent. I did today. So Phoenix will give you a decent squad arena team. When you get to Grand Arena, early on they'll be a pretty decent team, but they also give you a couple legendary unlocks. They'll give you Emperor Palpatine and Thrawn. Thrawn actually requires Phoenix specifically. Palpatine just requires Rebels. So they'll help you start unlocking things. Also, Phoenix has 2 Jedis. which you'll need Jedi to unlock Grandmaster Yoda, who's the integral part of the Jedi team, main damage dealer. So getting the Phoenix going is really a good, solid early start. So the Separatists will have some advantages over Phoenix. They'll have better late gameplay. Separatist will allow you to unlock Padme, who straight up is probably better than Thrawn or Palpatine in this meta. But the big disadvantage I see with Separatists, other than they're much harder to farm, is Galactic War. Galactic War is a series of 12 battles that you want to complete every single day. You can't sim it early in the game. You have to complete it 50 times and be level 85 before you can sim it. And you got to get through it all. Well, Phoenix has a lot of health regeneration, so you shouldn't have a whole lot of problem getting through this most every day. With Separatists, that may not be the case, especially early on. Missing out on any of the Galactic Core currency is going to set you back. And it's be more of a headache to get through. I want to get through this 50 times as fast as I can so that I can sim it. We'll get to the actual farming guide here. Okay, you see I've got it broken down into 4 stages. Now, this isn't going to include every character that you'll want to eventually get in the game. This is just to kind of start you out, get you on the right path, get you Malik, some other legendaries, so that you can have a good Grand Arena squads and hopefully push up in your arena shard and start doing pretty well there. So we've got it broken down. The first is pre-stage 5, and here's what I mean by that. See, all these are stages. I've got a stage 4 unlocked. Stage 5 will unlock at level 43, and stage 4 completion. So I'm very nearly there because I'm level 42 with this account. So all my farming is about to change. So this whole tier right here is everything before stage 5 and light and dark side. Because after stage 5, you're going to unlock some characters that you can farm that will help you start getting ready for Jedi Knight Revan and Darth Revan. And that's definitely where you want to go. So this chart is going to flow this way. Most of the time, you'll want to try to finish one before going on to the next. But here, that's not the case, especially with the light and dark side battles. Here, you'll want to move on once you unlock those stage 5s and beyond, and start farming these characters so that you can get Revan and Darth Revan. You see, we've got the Clone Sergeant here, Count Dooku from both nodes. We've got the Jedi Consular and Sabine Wren. Now, the reasoning for this, of course, Phoenix is Sabine is part of Phoenix, so you want her so that you can use the ship, the Phantom, the Jedi Consular. You want to get him to 5 stars so that you can use him to unlock Grandmaster Yoda. Plus, he has a free ship that you'll get. So we're going to be focused on people that'll give us ships early on. That way we can do well in Fleet Arena when we get that unlocked at level 60. And hopefully get some good crystals from there. Count Dooku is just a great character. I'll help you get through some of the dark side missions early on. Continue, you see we're farming Hera and Ezra. They're the part of the core of the Phoenix team there. The guild store, we're not going to have a whole lot of currency early on, but Dengar will be our first farm out of there. He's a scoundrel. He's a bounty hunter. And those are definitely designations that we want on our characters. Cantina store will go for Chopper. Squad Arena store, we want Kanan first. The Galactic War store will be Zeb. He'll, like I said earlier, he'll be the first guy that will probably get to 7 stars. He's 15 shards a day. It'll go pretty quick. After you get him Biggs, because you want to get his ship. He's a very good early tank. Now, he's not near as good as Bosk and his ship will be later on. But for early game, he's pretty serviceable. So that's pre stage 5. This is where you want to be. Then after stage 5 unlocks, things will change. So post stage 5, we'll call it, from the dark side node, there's 3 characters that we really want to start getting for Revan and Darth Revan. So Bastila Shan and Jolie Bindo are key to unlocking Jedi Knight Revan. They're also Jedi, so that'll help us get a Jedi team going fairly early. Once we have a decent Jedi team, we can start using them in the squad arena. They're going to be doing better than Phoenix, especially with the Bastila lead. Her leadership ability is fantastic. Fallen Bastila, you'll need for Darth Revan. But she's in stage 7, I believe, of the dark side node, so it'll take a little longer to get there. So when you can't farm some of these guys, go back to stuff over here and keep farming that. For the light side node, we've got Jedi Knight Anakin, Zalbar, and Juhani. Zalbar and Juhani you'll be needing for the Revans. Jedi Knight Anakin is just a fantastic Jedi character. He's probably one of the top 10 characters in the game right now. He's incredibly free to play, so start farming him up. Plus, he's got a ship that we'll be focusing on later that is just a massive offensive powerhouse. Cantina, you want to keep getting Phoenix until you get both of them to 7 stars. After that, we'll go for Kylo Ren Unmasked, if I can talk here. You also get his ship out of the shard. That's very important. That ship is just a devastating ship early on in the game. After that, we'll go for TIE Fighter Pilot. We want to get him unlocked because we'll get some other free Empire characters. We can get a really good Empire team going early as well. The guild store after we get Dengar. We'll go for 5s and Rex. They won't show up all the time. Neither will Dengar. So the key here is when these characters don't show up, we don't spend currency. We don't use it on gear. We don't use it on other characters. You focus on Dengar. You get him all the way up to 7 stars. If you get to the point where you've stockpiled so much currency because you're in a fairly decent guild that you can spare it on the clones, go for it. But we don't burn currency on other things. We'll save it. We'll be able to burn through it at some point in the game. We don't need to worry about it. So just be patient with it. Cantina store after Chopper. We're going to go for Boba Fett, another bounty hunter. And then also for clones. The squad arena after Kanan, we're going to go for IG-88. Again, here's another bounty hunter. He's very free to play. He's got a ship that we'll need later to unlock the Han's Millennium Falcon. That's why I'm going for IG-88 over Greedo. He's not the best bounty hunter, but, he'll work on a bounty hunter team for us right now. Galactic War Store. After Biggs, we're going to go for Cad Bane. Here's another bounty hunter. So already you're seeing we'll have several bounty hunters unlocked to get that team going. We'll have 4. We'll just need a 5th, which we'll get to later. So the fleet energy, once you hit 60, the fleet nodes will unlock. You should be able to complete stage 1 decently quickly. There's a couple ships that will want out of there. First is Anakin's Starfighter. Like I said, it's an offensive powerhouse. We want to get that online as soon as we can. The Clone Sergeant's Arc 170. Yeah, that's why we were farming him earlier. So we want to definitely keep going after that ship so that we can make it more powerful and do well in Fleet Arena. And then the TIE Fighter. It's a very evasive ship. It'll give your capital ship some turn meter. Plus, we got TIE Fighter for free, and we can get him out of Cantina. So, and again, another very good ship early on. The Fleet Arena store. The same thing I said with the guild store. You don't want to spend currency unless one of these characters show up. You always want to have 400 currency on hand in case General Grievous shows up. He is incredibly good, especially late game. But he's not going to show up hardly ever. So this is about patience. When he does show up, you need to have the currency to buy him, because it's going to take you forever to finish farming him. If you don't have the currency, you're going to be kicking yourself. So take it slow. Make sure you always have 400 left over so you can get Grievous. Next, be looking out for the Ghost and the Phantom and Big's X-Wing. Those are the core early Rebel ships. They will help unlock Thrawn's capital, the Chimera, which is a very good early capital ship. It'll lose some viability later in the game, but if you can get it early, it'll do some wonders for you. Now we're moving on. We've hit level 85, fairly recent probably. We can unlock all the nodes in the light and dark side battles. So here we go. We're getting our other bounty hunters. Bosk is just a beast. He's a great leader. He's a good tank. And he's got a wonderful ship. Jango Fett will unlock shards of Bosk's ship as you're farming him, so it is a fantastic shard. You want to make sure you're getting these guys as often as possible, but not before you get the necessary parts to unlock Revan. The Cantina store, we're going to be focusing again on Revan stuff. Now, I know there's a lot of guys here in the Cantina that we want. My general strategy is to use crystals on Cantina refreshes as often as possible. I may get one refresh on light and dark side nodes on that energy per day. 2 if you're just flowing in crystals for some reason, but really just 1 will do it. The rest of your crystals, you want to spend it on the Cantina. If you can get 3 refreshes per day, you'll run through these real quick. If you can get 2, you'll still get through them pretty quick. If it's just 1, that's better than nothing. It'll certainly help you, but the faster you can get through these, the better. So T3, M4, Mission, Veo, and Cander's Ordo will all be used for either Jedi Knight Revan or Darth Revan. The guild store, again, is about not spending currency when the right character doesn't show up. So we're going to save for Logray here, because he's not going to show up that often. You may even want to kind of push him in here a little bit if you got the currency, which these guys don't show up all the time. You may, but he shows up very rarely. So we're going to start farming him early, because it's going to take forever to get him to 7-star, and he's very, very helpful in the C3PO event. We'll get another clone here with the Commander Cody. He'll drop off eventually once we get Shaak Ti, but this will finish off our clone team. Part of that clone team we could use Ahsoka Tano. She's got the 501st tag if you want to go that route, but she's also got the Jedi tag, so she can be used in a lot of different teams. She's got a lot of good flexibility. Then we've got First Order Officer and Old Daka. So we'll start going towards a First Order team, and eventually we'll want the Night Sister team unlocked too. The Squad Arena store, you should be able to get through these fairly quickly if we're doing pretty well in Squad Arena. So we'll try to finish off our Empire team here with Grand Moff Tarkin. We'll go for HK-47 next. Now, if you're doing really well on your other farms for Darth Revan, you probably want to get him first. Chances are you'll have plenty of time, so getting Grand Moff Tarkin first and solidifying that Empire team will probably be better than having him just sit around waiting for your other guys to farm. That's why we've got Grand Moff Tarkin first. Akbar, of course, has a capital ship. He's also got a decent leadership ability in giving all rebels a massive speed boost. So he's not completely trash, although he's mostly trash other than his capital ship. But having a stronger capital ship is certainly very helpful. Galactic War Store, again, we're going for that First Order team. Phasma is nothing special, and I really wish we didn't have to get her, but we're going to have lots of Galactic War currency. So, we need a 5th person for our First Order team early on, because we don't have First Order Stormtrooper until later. So we can get her to 7 stars very easily. You also want to be looking for ships that you can get out of here. There'll be a number of different ships that'll come up. Like Big's X-Wing will show up. Jedi Consular ship will show up. There'll be a number of ships that we could get out of there. Fleet energy. By this point, we should have stages 2 and 3 unlocked. So first, we want to get Carthor Nasi here. You'll need him for the Darth Revan event. If you have extra energy and you don't need these anymore, then going for Basilishan and Zalbar will help speed up those farms. Fleet Arena Store, again, it's like I said, you want to be saving currency all the time. Make sure you have at least 400 for Grievous. You may even want to save 800 so that when Vader Charge show up, you can be getting him. Now, after that, there's a number of clones that will show up in here. You can use the currency on them. You can also use it on ships. If we're doing pretty well in the fleet arena, it's not super hard to get top 20. It probably will be actually with the hyperdrive bundles around, but hopefully we can do pretty well in there. It's a different meta than the regular arena is. For some reason, a lot of people tend to ignore ships. Don't do that. You can get a lot of free crystals out of ships. You can get a lot of currency. Speed up your farming. Don't ignore ships. Try to do well in fleet arena. That's really been the key to my main account and how I've done so well. So we're finally done with all that stuff. Now we're have a little more freedom in what we can farm. We've got Revan, we've got Darth Revan, we've got everything we need for Malik. We just need to gear it up. So now we can finally move on to some other things. So we're going to start farming Zombie and Mother Talzin. Get that nice sister team up and running. We'll go for Wicket because he takes forever to farm. And we'll want to get C-3PO before too long. First Order Stormtrooper. And then we're looking at a couple of different ships here. We've got the Xanadu Blood and the IG-2000. Both of these bounty hunter ships will be used to get Han's Millennium Falcon, which will really, really gas up our Rebel team. And just we'll fly right to the top of the Arena Shard if we're the only one that has it. So we want to focus on these early in the game, as early as possible, so that we can get that Han's Millennium Falcon going. Cantina, we'll go towards excuse me, Luke, old Ben here, and we'll be working towards CLS. You'll see in the Squad Arena store, we've got Princess Leia and Stormtrooper Han. We'll also be able to unlock R2-D2 with that Empire team that we'd put together. And then more First Order Stormtrooper and Kylo Ren. That will help round out our First Order team so we can get BB-8 unlocked if we want to. It'll be a good defensive Grand Arena team. Now we do have Jen Urso here. She is only able to be unlocked through the guild store. So we want to farm her whenever she shows up. After that, we can start farming whatever gear we need out of here. The Cantina store, we'll want to farm Cassian's ship. This is a fantastic ship. I know Cassian and K2SO aren't fantastic characters, but this ship really does wonders for a Rebel squad, and has really helped me stay right at the top of my fleet arena. Going down to the Squad Arena store, you see we've already talked about these two Rebels. We've also got Asajj Ventress working on that Night Sister team. And Cassian Andor will need him for the ship. Same with K2SO. That'll also give us 3 Rogue One characters if we're doing the Hoth territory battle. Rogue One will be needed, so we'll have a couple guys there. We'll also want to be getting ships out of the Galactic War Store. And at this point, we may even have currency that if you've got all the ships that you need, you can use it to get extra shards for the shard shop. That's what I've been doing actually for quite a while. So now we've got fleet stages 4 and 5 unlocked. If we're still working on Darth or the Revans, you can be getting Jolie Bindo in stage 4 at the end there. Shock T, we want to get her to go with our clones. Enfys Nest is just a fantastic character. You can put her anywhere. She can solo a lot of teams. She's wonderful. And B1, just he takes a while to farm. So even though we're not getting a whole ton of separatists at this point, we want to start that farm so that when he's getting close to being done, we can get the others and start getting that separatist team ready for Padme. Fleet Arena Store, you'll see there's 3 Geonosians here. You'll want to farm them whenever they pop up. You want to continue getting ships as well. That'll wrap it up for this guide here. You'll see there's a number of legendary characters that we'll be able to get. Early on, we'll be able to get Emperor Palpatine and Thrawn. As we move on, we'll be able to unlock Grandmaster Yoda. Use him for that Jedi team. Then we'll be going towards Revan and Darth Revan. Once we get both of those, we can unlock Malak. Now we've got our Sith Empire team going. We can really push in Arena. After that, we'll be focused more towards Commander Luke Skywalker, Chewbacca. We could probably get him with our bounty hunters. Then we'll be pushing for the Han's Millennium Falcon. That's our goals early on. Once we've got all this done, we've got a very solid base for a Grand Arena team. It's about gearing, about modding, about learning how each of the characters and teams play against each other so that you can really dominate well. I'll leave a link below with a link to the guide. Hopefully you found it helpful. Please like and subscribe. Share this video with others. I think it's the best, most efficient, free-to-play guide out there right now. And I've watched tons of other YouTubers. No offense against them. They're great with the endgame stuff. But when it comes to beginning game stuff and making sure you don't have any bloat in your roster, I don't think they're there yet. That's why I created this. I wanted something that if I was a brand new player, I could go off of, and this is it. So hopefully you found it helpful. Please check out some of my other videos, and have a blessed day.